Belize's Great Blue Hole is a popular tourist attraction in Belize, and it's frequented by many tourists and scuba divers, who venture both deep into the hole and who partake in helicopter tours to look down at it from above. The hole is very deep, so deep in fact that divers rarely venture into the network of caves that it connects to. The ocean hides many mysteries that can't be solved because we can't access certain parts of it. But what if we could drain Belize's Great Blue Hole? What would we find? That is the question we're asking right now on Life's Biggest Questions. Hello and welcome back to Life's Biggest Questions, the channel that asks the fundamental questions of life, and occasionally we answer them too. I'm Charlotte Dobre. Subscribe for more daily head scratchers and follow the team behind Life's Biggest Questions on social media. Blue holes are not uncommon in tropical waters, but Belize's Great Blue Hole is something special. It's the only sinkhole big enough that you can actually see it from space. A popular UNESCO World Heritage Site, the hole is 980 feet across and around 400 feet deep, and it formed more than 150,000 years ago as a giant crater. But since its formation, it has evolved into something quite different. Jacques Cousteau once called it one of the best scuba diving sites in the world, and the Discovery Channel said it was one of the 10 most amazing places on Earth. Toward the bottom of the hole, around 120 meters deep, there are stalactites that scientists think may have formed during the last ice age. The Blue Hole used to be a limestone cave hundreds of thousands of years ago. Then, when sea level started to rise, the cave flooded, creating the sinkhole we see today. That being said, the Great Blue Hole is also one of the most mysterious places on Earth because of how inaccessible it is. The deeper you go, the less oxygen there is, and the bottom of the hole is supposed to be pitch black and essentially lifeless. You can't see it from the surface, but there's actually a system of over 10 caves inside the hole. What could be inside those caves? We can't find out because divers can't go deep enough. Divers are deterred from diving too deep into the hole because of fears they might actually get trapped down there. They are encouraged to always go diving with someone accompanying them to prevent any problems. During high tide, divers would be sucked down into the hole, unable to get out. But maybe there's another explanation for that. So there's this legend that exists to explain this phenomenon. The legend of the Lusca. The Lusca is supposedly a sea monster that has been seen inside blue holes. Speculation was further ignited when a large mass washed up on shore in 1896 in St. Augustine, Florida. The Lusca is supposed to be very large, able to grow up to 75 feet long, resembling a giant octopus-shark hybrid. Other descriptions reported as being a multi-head monster, or a combination of a squid and an eel. Before a supposed attack, bubbles will appear on the surface of a sinkhole. Whether those bubbles are created by an ocean current or the Lusca, we might never know. But divers get sucked down into the deep. Most people think that the Lusca is a folk tale, but who knows? Perhaps if we drained Belize's Great Blue Hole, we would find out that it really exists. One thing's for certain though, Belize's Great Blue Hole contains other horrors. Other than the fact that it's a hot spot for marine life like giant corals, reef sharks, and turtles, descend past 90 meters and there is no oxygen, no life, and a thick layer of toxic hydrogen sulfide. Any life that happens to get trapped in this layer suffocates and dies. And during a dive into the hole, Fabien Cousteau, grandson of Jacques Cousteau, as well as Erica Bergman, said they found piles of bottles and bits of plastic inside Belize's Great Blue Hole. So in case you haven't guessed already, it isn't possible to drain Belize's Great Blue Hole. Because it's part of a greater network of tunnels that are also connected to the ocean, you would have to find the connecting parts, close them off from the ocean, and then drain the hole. But it's definitely fun to think about what would happen if we could drain Belize's Great Blue Hole. What do you imagine might be hiding inside it? Let us know in those comments. For now, I'm gonna respond to some comments from my last video on this channel. What if we drain the Mariana Trench? Ren Kagami said, if we drain the trench, my dad who went to the grocery store 18 years ago would be found. That is dark, Ren, very dark. Chaskin Brown said, if we drain the trench, I would finally find my keys. And I would finally find my dignity. Casual Gamer said, I learned more from this channel than school. That is great, but also worrisome. Thank you for watching Life's Biggest Questions. If you want to continue watching this channel, check out the playlist that's currently flashing on your screen. And make sure you leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And I will see you in a future episode of Life's Biggest Questions.